Nestled between the city walls is the heart and soul of this property, the garden. Since we practically live outside in the summers, this is so important to get right. The garden at that point was just a narrow corridor leading to the back where there was a brick wall leading to nowhere and just full of weeds. The previous owners had at some point made a construction in the middle of the garden, which at a later point they had demolished, but they had left a lot of rubble lying around and it was a mess. The citrus trees had not been pruned or taken care of for many decades, and the ground around it was infested with snails and ant colonies, and there were dead rats and cat spillings everywhere. At some point, the main branch had been split in two, and the big branch was now leaning against the wall, and there was a cavity in the middle, which was filled with snails and critters. Time will tell whether we'll actually be able to save this tree, but when the first season of matured fruit came along, we started to pick bags and bags of lemons and oranges, so we feel pretty optimistic. The trees are infected with a disease called sooty mold, which is quite common down here, and it's a byproduct of the little insects kind of leaving spillings and honeydew behind. And it's not ideal because obviously it affects the furniture and flooring beneath it. So since we want to use these trees as a natural shade, we need to get to grips with it. We've been given a lot of suggestions of how to treat it. So we're trying a method now where we're going to treat the insects because you need to get to the root of the problem. We're going to do that for a few times, and then we're also going to put some sticky tape around the stems to prevent the ants from walking up, because oftentimes we've been told that they kind of farm and propagate the insects that will lead to these diseases. So if you have some good experience of managed to get control of this problem in your garden, then please do let us know. We would love to hear how your experience has been. Without further ado, let's dive into the garden and look at the designs that we settled for. We wanted to create a haven of tranquility and joy in our little garden. The summers get extremely busy here, as on the beaches and in the restaurants. So to have a little paradise of your own is truly a gem, and this is what we wanted. We decided to place the dining area closest to the house because from here you have the most natural connection to the kitchen inside, but also the outdoor kitchen, obviously. We chose some cute but very simple wall lights that will go next to the dining area, beautiful string lights that will light up beautifully in the evening, and some lanterns that would go on the facade of the house. I can't wait to spend summer nights here. It's going to be so beautiful. The outdoor kitchen will be made from micro cement blocks with open shelving underneath. The worktop will either be in marble or it might be in tiles depending on what we find and what fits our budget in the end. We'll place a sink here to make it a good prep area, and some shelves and hooks on the wall will provide some beautiful decoration spots. Towards the end of the worktop, we'll have a space for a little mobile pizza oven. And at the far end, we're going to place our barbecue. This section of the garden receives a lot of sunlight, so we thought this would be the ideal spot to have a couple of sun chairs and a parasol. Oh, I can just see myself sitting here and sipping an ice cold drink. It's going to be awesome. And we do have a little secret dream here at some point to place a jacuzzi, but it didn't quite fit our budget at this point, but we've done all the preparations for it. And over in this corner, we're going to put a little outdoor shower, which will provide a very welcome way to cool down when it gets really hot. As we stroll into the garden a little bit further, we open ourselves to the street. So we decided to put some lush green hedge here, so it'll protect us from the street views a little bit, but still provide a pretty view from the street. In this area down here, we've decided to place some beautiful plants and trees. And along that, on the other side, we're putting some stepping stones And we have plans for some beautiful uplighting that will give a nice ambiance to the trees and bushes on that side. And on the stepping lights, we're putting some small inset lights along, so it gives kind of a very mild, beautiful lighting at night to light up the path that leads up to the house. We've got this inspiration from a lot of generous people around the area, well, all over Italy really, with their courtyards, that kind of draws the eye in and makes you kind of, oh, that's so beautiful. But still, you know, for the person who lives there, you can walk in and really enjoy the feeling of being invited and drawn into the property. So we put a lot of effort into creating a beautiful lighting scheme for this entrance. And at the end of the garden here, we're coming towards kind of the separation between the greenery and the walkway, and then where we would like to put the car. And we've decided to put up a little wall here with a little security gate that we're hoping to commission somebody who's working with iron gates locally. And behind it, we're hoping to place a little space to keep our garden tools. And then finally, behind these gates, we're going to have a little parking space, which is perfect for the car or the Vespa or the bicycle, whatever it's going to be. And yeah, we're super excited about putting all this together. As I said, it's going to be the heart and soul of this house.